Good evening, everyone. I am Mr. Brad Chester,
Ooh.
the youngest, tallest, and most luxurious hair man in all of 40K. And this motley group of characters with me today, introduce yourself, gentlemen.
I'm Brian Horton.
I'm Stephen Crawley.
And I'm Thomas Ogden, doing the wave because everyone else did it. Also, the professional Brad Hangler.
Did you say Brad Angler?
Hangler, because you have to hang them as you hang them away.
You guys
from
know what we're doing for this, by the way. I've already got this ready to go. We're getting a basically construction safety vest, and it's going to say Brad Handler on it. And on the back, it's going to say, with great power comes great responsibility.
No. Absolutely not. We voted in the chat, and the playmaker showed us the perfect backpack for you.
Oh,
that
the
had
one
a
where he
tether.
has the tether on it?
Yeah, the one with the tether. That way we don't lose you in the crowd, and we can make sure you get all your models cleaned up before you move to the next table.
No, I have one. We can actually already own it. It's got dinosaurs on it.
There you
Try
go.
using it for Wyatt, except people look at you weird when your kids run around with a little thing on his backpack and it's like tethered to you, and they're like, "That's horrible." So we stopped doing it, but
Nobody will look twice with
Nobody
that.
will look twice with me. They would just be like,
No,
man,
they'll all encourage it.
finally, like, thank God. We appreciate what you're doing here.
I'm gonna take it to the next extreme for Brad. I'm gonna get like him to wear like a little bracelet. I'm like, don't worry, it's your potty bracelet. But every time he does something I want, just push a button and it zaps the shit out of him. Like, zzz,
You know what? $1.99 2% probability. Let's start this off right with a go blue.
go blue, baby. Ooh, who did that? Motherfucker. Yup, my boy.
Go blue. I don't
All
even know
right,
what
so-
blue is, but go blue.
We had some big tournaments this weekend, guys.
Indeed, we did. We had Cherokee starting us off. A lot of DOG folks there. Greg, Mr. Solid Cherokee, played against some awesome DOG players. I wish I could have been there. It sounded like a good time as always. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
246 players, solid top 8. We're going to ignore the drama that is said to have happened and look at it for what happened. Thousand Suns pulling off a huge win.
100%.
That was so interesting watching those games as Thousand Suns were going across, especially the second to last one against Blood Angels, because it was so close, and I was just like at the screen. I feel like I'm like what Brad is when he's watching football. I'm like, commit.
Dude, well, I've been seeing this for a while. We talk about Thousand Suns. We were just doing this yesterday. I was at Snigs and we were talking about it. By the way, in 24 hours, Snigs has said Thousand Suns is OP, Thousand Suns is terrible, and Thousand Suns might be OP depending. Because Thousand Suns has one of the highest damage outputs of any army in the game, but it's such a house of cards and shit can just fall apart. As soon as you start losing Cabal points, things can just go bad, you know? Because you lose the ability to move back, no double Doom Bolt, you know, you're not turning off saves, but like, man, when they have all their Cabal points, holy shit, you can crush shit.
I mean, it's a high skill army, which is a really fun part about it. I'd love to see somebody like you pilot them, but they are definitely not, you know, everyone's going to be able to pick them up and run with them. It's definitely a high skill army.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's such a big deal.
The Infernal Masters are like low-key some of the highest damage output in the game because their thing's not a once per game, right? Their flamers are just always on bananas good.
Well, they get bananas good, but they also have like a lot of tech things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Besides double move, you can half move your opponent and then get the hell out of there. Obviously, double Doom Boat's no joke, you know what I mean? Especially when you're doing a peekaboo at it. So, and Magnus can reliably kill pretty much anything in the game. That dude's disgusting. +1 to hit, +1 to wound. You give him Cabal him up some full rerolls, you know.
And Doombolt ignores lone up, which is a huge deal.
Exactly.
When people have relied on lone up.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, is that a lone up? Is that your lieutenant with combi weapon? It'd be a shame if he took about 9 mortals.
Not anymore.
You dead, yo.
Ooh, they have good scenario. Now you're making me think because they have really good scenario pieces with the goats on the back of their little mini bike dudes that are like super cheap and don't do much,
Yeah,
but are really
well,
good scenario pieces.
Zangor Exalteds.
Yeah, those dudes.
They're really good because they also have they have move. They can move after someone moves within 9 of them for free and just bounce away. You've just got a lot of pieces in that. Now, again, the army can fall apart. As soon as you start losing cabal points, it's very difficult to continue to keep up the pressure and everything else. But man, some of the shit in that army is just nasty. The Vortec beasts are finally good, by the way. Those guys were horrible forever. And now they're delightful. And they're monsters. So you can't vehicle them up.
And just turning off saves.
Yeah, it's significant.
Like, cannot say enough. Turning off saves just wins games.
Yeah, turning off saves.
That Ricka Terminators with 2-up saves didn't have one.
Yeah, especially when you're hitting them with +1 to hit full rerollable flamers. Be a shame if you just picked up a lot of guys.
And you can change between lethal, sustained, and devastating wounds.
Brandon got best towel. Greg got second. Very nice. In best towel, I heard that Brandon brought a list that was made by a tactical genius.
I mean, some people call me that, but you know.
I'm just waiting for the Tau book to come out and it to be like currently what the index is, where it's more of a slow plotting middle table army. So that way Tom says he's not playing it, so I can play it.
You can just play the same army.
It's for it to come out and
not in teams. Not in teams.
Listen, Crowley, I'm a big boy. I got a lot of shadow. I got many people who can fit in that shadow.
On that note,
I'm hoping personally when it comes out, it's Codex Crute just to make Brandon really happy.
Codex Crute would be amazing.
If it's Codex Crute, I'm quitting 40K.
It's gonna just be only Crute, just tons of weapons on them.
No, nothing from
Remember
the
that
index is gonna
meme?
be good, but all the Crute's gonna be amaze balls.
Remember the memes like, let's do it to my boy, my boy.
So of course, going back to Cherokee, Necrons came in second. Blood Angels, the Suns detachment came in third. Death Guard in fourth. Orcs in fifth. Necrons again in sixth. Chaos Knights in seventh, and Custodes in eighth.
Those are really different. I like the diversity in there. I mean, the meta's in a good place right now.
And as we remember that Cherokee is part of the frontline gaming circuit, so therefore it's player place terrain. So that does tend to open up the field a little bit to some different builds.
Oh, we got to
You know something super fascinating? Sorry, before you do the super chat. The tables on the top and to spread throughout, we're using GW style where you can see FLGs moving towards more of an FLG style, but the rest of them were using the God themed tables and the other ones, and the tables look significantly different between the two. And it was a very interesting fascination because those footprints make it very difficult to spread in unique ways. So like if you watch Brandon Valise games where he's got his tables, he makes this like just complete open shooting gallery to be able to shoot anybody for doing
that orc picture he sent us. So Brandon just sent us this picture. He's playing an orc player, and there wasn't a piece of terrain for like 24 inches. It was bonkersville.
Yeah, I'll send you the picture so you can pull it up just for the emphasis of the crowd.
Let's go to the wall. So we've got first off, shout out to the Team USA. They won the Pirate Cup 3-0-2. And
congratulations, guys.
So we've got Eddie shouting out, I want that Codex Crute to not be to be bad, so he doesn't have to deal with Happy Brandon. And then we've got my boy Corbulu from Kenneth rocking it out. Meta Monday says, how wooden are Custodes' feet? I think Custodes are going to be just fine. And I think they're actually going to stay in the sweet spot because that army has weaknesses, but its basically weaknesses are the fact that people can play around them on missions. But I think especially because we have a shit ton of team tournament stuff coming up, they're a fantastic army for team tournaments, as they are disgusting, especially if they can pick their board and who they're playing against. Just don't take one of their bad matches. They're going to thump in team tournaments. Ooh.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Looking at the board real quick, that we have Greg Hunter. I actually like player place. Sad it's not used in many tournaments. Player place is a fun if you know what you're doing. Unfortunately, in my opinion, and I'm not trashing when he uses player place because like people like FLG, they run great events and they do only player place. If it creates a whole other level of tactical play at the table, And if you are familiar that your opponent's not, it just becomes a one-sided game. It's very easily abused.
Give a quick shout out to Dean, who won Best Painted at Cherokee.
Congratulations, Dean.
So proud of you.
Congratulations, brother.
Well
stuff.
done.
So,
He
I have a
is, in
question for you,
fact,
Brad.
the bee's knees.
well, I have a question for you, Brad. And
Yes,
I
sir.
kind of want what's up on this. Adepticon. It's only a couple weeks away. No Talco. How the fuck am I going to play?
Oh, don't get me started on the goddamn fact that there's not new codexes out yet. This is making me sad. This is my
Brother.
sad face.
Brother, you must purge the Xenos in Holy Crusade.
I did actually record the my lorecast today. I recorded was Ordo Xenos, all about them. So
No. We need a Holy Crusade. You must take the Indomitus Crusade with your Black Templar directly to the Adepticon. The terrain is improved
I'm not
this
doing
year.
one Diamond's Crusade. I mean, I like Gilliman's fluff, but if I'm doing Templars, I'm doing Templars, right? Fuck Gilliman.
I was
We're
trying
going-
to do lore. I don't do lore. Black Templar the shit out of it.
I'm thinking about playing Templars.
I want you to. I think that would be amazing.
I gotta find out where my army's at.
Andy, don't you put that evil on me. We're getting these codexes, damn it.
Hey, listen,
Well,
I am
So
fairly
the one thing I can
confident.
say is don't everybody forget that GW is a little bit behind right now on releases and shipping because the supply chain still has some minor issues and
Look,
ice storms
man,
can cause
those
problems.
canals are not a big deal. They should have flying ships like Final Fantasy doing all of the shipments with my ships that have propellers and balloon engines on them.
Didn't they have like a full 2-week full stop where nothing was moving completely?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. You'll get Tau before freaking ATC, and Tau will probably be the newest codex by then.
So I liked a couple of these. I'm going to go to the wall right here. Metamoni goes, so how should guard singles adapt in light of their 25% win rate in Necrons? I think that you're going to have to take 2 waves, a bunch of idiot guardsmen and whatnot to get in the way. But one of the things Necrons have an issue with, the big guys can obviously deal with them, but as long as you're blocking out and you have enough morons, it's actually difficult, especially for Canopticor, to deal with the big tanks. So tons of the Russes and everything else are kind of annoying for Necrons to deal with. And also with just blocks of morons getting out of, even just popping out of Chimeras and stuff like that, they still move 6, you know what I mean? So you can really box out those Catans, and even though they can bounce around, they still have to YOLO 9-inch charges at that point in time, and their volume of shots isn't very big, and you can screen them out from your tanks so that you're getting firing lanes and they're not. It's not easy, but that is how you have to play it. Exactly.
Or-
I mean, you found an airship.
Or just push through them, so that's what I want to do. I'm just gonna
Or just
power
bury
through.
the army like Tom would do, or just kill
Bury 'em.
everything in 2 turns.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Bury it.
I'll figure it out. I'm gonna find something that can kill Titans with. Just haven't decided.
You can volume out. We had multiple games where you can pick stuff up. It's just the fact that you can't nickel and dime Catan right now. Again, we're adapted to the meta right now because people are used to being able to kind of nickel and dime their big guys a lot of times, and Catan just will heal themselves out of that. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that you're putting them down, but you have to focus fire enough. With things like Catan, you either put them down or you don't. And I know that sounds idiotic, but I'm saying don't waste firepower on them. Pick up other shit if you don't have the volume that you need in any one turn. I mean, there's no reason to put random shit into them, and it doesn't make any difference. When you have a high toughness model, 4 up, 5 up, and it's getting back D3, don't even bother unless you have enough to statistically put that down.
Shazi Bear is my spirit animal. Just bring 2 tiger sharks.
God damn it.
Amen, brother.
I hate flyers so
Amen.
much.
If you could actually deploy one without actually having to spend 1 CP for rapid ingress, it would be amazing.
Of course, Brad starts liking the Deceiver, and now he's talking about boxing. Golden Fist Converto, I always talk about boxing. I use only sports references, so if you don't know my sports references, a lot of times you're like, what the fuck is he talking about? 6 Dread Knights, 3 Elvarians, 1 Redeemer. That makes my heart palpitations right there, because that is so many things that cost 200 points or more.
So should we talk about the other events that went on this weekend?
100%.
The big open in Germany with 140 players. Chaos Space Marines taking first with 5-0, Death Guard second, Tau third, and Necrons fourth with Hypercrypt.
What was the Space Marine, the type though? I didn't see that.
I didn't see the Chaos Space Marine list. I don't have it up at the moment. 1 second.
Because we had a lot of big tournaments this weekend.
One of them.
Yes.
Well, while we're doing that, while he's looking that up real quick, Art of the Warp has your Jukari in first with a 5-0.
I saw that. The Art of Warp.
Yeah, Scary.
Jakari 5-0. The Hypercrypt went 4-0. They had a lot of undefeateds there because they had multiple draws. Because they had Necrons, Thousand Sons, and Dark Angels all going undefeated also. And then we had Death Guard taking it with Grey Knights right underneath them, with Custodes and World Eaters in France in a 96-player event. There is so much diversity right now in what you can play in this meta. I really like it.
I think it's the most diverse meta we've had in quite a long time.
I do think we're also seeing more prevalence of ties because more people are playing tactical, and getting an early lead doesn't necessarily win you the game, but it can strangle you to the point where the numbers line up to the point where you're not able to get past your opponent's lead. Add an extra point.
Got to give a quick shout out real quick, guys. Gaz got #1 and won a golden ticket to the championships this weekend. Well done.
Congratulations.
So the Chaos Space Marine Army was Abaddon, Lord, Cultist Mob, Rhino, Chaos Bikes with Meltas, Predator Destructor, Vindicator, Chosen, Forge Fiend, Warp Talon.
A pretty versatile list, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think Chaos is like really starting to find its stride. I know they got nerfed, but like they got nerfed into armies that like actually play better and not just YOLO swag stuff. You know what I mean? They're bringing very some shooting, some hand-to-hand, board control. You know what I mean? That army still has it all.
Well, and the Vindicators are nice because they're on the old Rhino platform for size. They fit into a lot more spaces, especially on GW terrain and WTC style terrain. They fit really good through some of those narrower gaps. Whereas like your Repulsor Executioners don't quite go through.
Nice. Very nice. We had Grey Knights are really making a comeback in a lot of places. Plus, obviously, Hypercrypt doing super well over the weekend. Grey Knights won 2 tournaments, 60 or more tournaments, and did really well over the weekend with their win rate also. And then we had a lot of diverse lists in the team tournament. We're going to talk about those a little bit more on Thursday. The list from the team tournament. So I was going to leave our team stuff mostly there. But Grey Knights won 52% over the weekend with 2 wins, 2 tournament wins over that.
They won the Milwaukee GT.
Yep.
Is HTC the next team tournament for us?
No. Jamhammer's first.
Yeah.
What month is that?
April.
Oh yeah.
That's
Am I
the
going to
5-man up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're literally on the team.
Fucking Tom.
Just
Can't fucking take him anywhere.
Wait, is that a 5-man or 8-man team tournament?
5-man.
I thought we had Anna's GT in April.
We do.
You said team events.
You said team events.
But I do 1 GT a month, man. I got family and
team events don't count as GT.
Team events don't count as GT, bro.
Yeah.
Will you tell it to my family and my kid?
I'll tell Wyatt right now. Put him on with me.
I'll go get him right now.
We will hype Wyatt up. He's going to be, Dad's going to go win the team event. Dad's going to win the team event.
So should we go over the Grey Knight list that won Milwaukee?
I do.
Is that the one that we're talking about with all the things plus the Knights and the Redeemer? Because that sounds like a Milwaukee thing.
Sounds like a Milwaukee thing.
It was 3 Halverins, a whole bunch of the Dread Knights.
Yep.
The Land Raider Redeemer. Yeah, okay.
You make fun of me, Brad, but am I wrong? It does sound like a Milwaukee list.
I love Land Raiders, but they just die too easily to like things like Night Spinners.
How in the world do a
no? You know Tom's Night Spinners. That was so funny. Still. You know what? I don't know where Hurdle is right now, but he just woke up and went, "Oh no, you damn fucking night spinners!"
Dude, hey, you know what? The best part of that whole weekend is him screaming metal at us
Listen,
at the karaoke night.
everybody else gets like 1 or 2 mortal wounds, and Tom's like, I average about 10 mortal wounds per activation on my night spinners. It's fine.
Let's go to Carmona, $5 super chat. Talk about my boy Mark, who took 5th at Cherokee with an orc list. He dropped a nasty charge and left the War Games live chat tilted. Orc
Wait, what
left-
happened in the
Hold
charge?
on, I'm gonna give the walk.
That's one of the things that we're not talking about from Cherokee.
Wow, I didn't know that was a thing.
Wait, why are we not talking about it?
I didn't.
There was a red card.
I love Tom's like, hey, there's something that we're not gonna do on live screen. Tom's like, well, but tell me about it right now, live.
No, we weren't going to talk about the.
Are you
data
talking
cards.
about my hair gas? Because that's mean.
No, wait. We said we were going to talk about the data cards. What happened on the charge?
I have no idea. I literally have no idea.
Crowd hit us with it.
You need to
Nope,
you
I'm
gotta,
not.
you gotta ask an
The
adult.
score was put in for a 0 for a reason, so no.
Yep.
On stream?
Huh?
This
I don't think it was
happened
on
on
stream.
stream? Oh,
I
so
don't
then you're
know.
not. Just don't say any names. Just tell me what happened.
I'm just moving
We'll talk about
on.
that after stream time.
Anyway,
I'm
moving
about to
on.
mute my mic and camera and go watch the stream real quick.
Moving on. So, how do we think after this weekend? Because this was like the first big round of the new season, right? How do we feel like the meta's shaped up right now?
I like it.
I think there's a lot of diversity out there. I think you can try some lists, and as long as you understand what the, those armies you're going to see are, you can play around them and play into them fairly well, I think.
The interesting thing for me is that we don't really have like a very tall tree to chop. So there's nobody that's like Eldar or CSM that's like, oh my God, blowing everybody out. But at the same time, like we see a lot of 50s and a lot of 40s. And I'm wondering like over time if the meta is still unhealthy just because now there's no dominant winner, but then the losers are starting to just get left in the dust farther and farther back.
So who are the big losers? I mean, if you look at it, right?
Ooh.
Astra Militarim's down in the 42% win rate, but are still X and 1ing events and winning events.
Admech, Deathwatch.
AdMech, I mean, Deathwatch just doesn't get played, but AdMech, I still think that AdMech has a price point problem because I really do think that the best AdMech list right now is Horde AdMech with tons of things that are super expensive.
Yeah, but I don't think that can still point to terrible book balance. If they balance
kind of, yeah.
only one data sheet to be good,
Well,
or
it's not
2
one.
days
I mean,
to be good.
I was saying it's basically a horde. I just don't think that you can play. I mean, you could play like Breach or Chicken Spam, but then you're all in on just some damage and no way to play the game. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna look at armies that are still super good right now. CSM is only winning at 42%, and I think that army's amazing still right now. You know what I mean?
And Tyranids are only winning at 43. They're still a really good army. It's just
Right.
It's a skill thing.
There's a large group of players, and I'm not going to give a percentage, but I'm going to say it's a large group of players that are not going to play something that is perceptibly weak, even if they enjoy it, if they're going to larger events, because they don't want to suffer the sunk cost fallacy, right? Like, there's not a lot of, like, I can't think, outside of, like, Manic, who is an incredibly amazing player, I can't think of a lot of Tyranid mainstays right now that are just like super hard up on the hyper competitive Tyranids, right? Like Brian and Manic are the only people I can think of that are like good, strong, super competitive players that are like repping Tyranids super hard, trying to actually pull things out.
Yeah, it's one of those things I don't think there's one army that you are going to hop on if you're a meta chaser. You may go, all right, this is the army that I'm the best with right now, and it's good. I'm going to ride it. You don't think
Krons or Custodes fit that goal?
I mean, I think Krons can, because I think they're probably still the strongest army, but that's not an easy army to army hop onto. Number one, a lot of that stuff's unavailable and difficult to find. So that's a thing. And
a couple things. I think we never talked about this orc list from Mark that James asked us to do on a super chat.
You want to go through the list itself?
Yeah, dude, super chatter. Why not?
Okay, let's do it.
Pull it up.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Brian, do you have it?
Make it
close
happen,
at hand?
Captain.
We're working on it.
When James is on here every week, and he's active. I think we give his boy the limelight, like he has. Plus, it's orcs. Brad loves talking about orcs. It's like almost as good as about talking about himself.
I mean, whoa. Let's not go that far, but still, I like orcs a lot.
Also, I think they said that you had it mixed up, Crowley, because the charge he's talking about, he made a glorious charge into Venom with 2 units of boys, blew up the Venom, piled into the unit of witches with Lilith.
Oh, no.
On your fight first.
No, I was talking about the first round of top 8. Okay, so that's because he was playing the 1,000.
Glorious charge.
Glorious charge.
We're going to talk about Mark's Wog Tribe. So, Beast Boss on Squega Store with
Head Wappa Kill Choppa.
Kill Choppa. Gazgal, Captain Badruck, Mozdrog, Knob with War Banner, Enhancement of Follow Me Lads, War Boss with Brutal but Cunning, Weird Boy, a unit of boys, a big unit of boys, a truck, a battle wagon, 10 flash kits, Gretchen, unit of Mega Knobs, unit of Warbikes. That's the list.
So Badrock obviously goes with the flash kits. The big unit will go in the battle wagon. Gaz goes with a big unit and just kind of hops from train piece to train piece, especially because it's player placed. And during the WOG, Makari gives off a 12-inch bubble of lethal hits. And that's pretty bonkersville when you slam into something with that big boy unit, because you're just like, hey, take a billion saves. So it can do some serious work into shit it normally does not. You know what I mean? It's the volume. So did he is that the boat army, like actual boats? Was his orcs? Yes, no, maybe so.
You'll have to ask the crowd.
I'm asking the crowd. Mazrog is a fucking giant shark. See, I call him that all the time. The great white shark. He's awesome. Mazrog's such a bomb. I love that
2
dude.
units of bikes. I think they're pretty versatile.
They can haul ass. Yeah, I mean, and they can get to places. They can score the game. And they do have a billion attacks too on the walk turn, because they can advance and charge. They can flat advance. They can just take out random trash units super easy because they can zoom across the board. They've got serious uses. Orcs are the shit, bro. They've got play.
Oh, yeah, and the Warbikes, because they're a small footprint, can kind of bounce and hide real easy.
Yeah, well, they're just so nice to reach out and touch someone. You get the walk turn sometimes. You can charge way around corners and stuff and really start move blocking people while you're taking out the trash. I love them. I obviously love orcs. So, and anytime you have cool converted orcs. Also, speaking of orcs, you know who painted models this weekend? This guy.
Oh, I was going to bring that up. Your beautifully painted army was amazing.
I painted 5 orc boys.
I was proud of you, Brad.
Yeah.
It actually looks pretty decent.
Sniggs was walking me through it. I'm going to do it on Sundays when I'm in town. As part of
They
our
looked
practice.
really good. It was good work.
I just want to get more stuff up. You know what I mean? I just want more models.
More models.
You can never have a big enough collection of anything. And then maybe I'll actually bring some of my old models to a tournament. I can't really... Whoa. Let's not get so crazy. But I might bring some of my own stuff. But there's a possibility. A possibility, my friends.
Brad,
I would
the
love to
day
see
you
the
show
Brad
up
fully
with
changed.
an entire 2,000-point painted army, I will buy your wine for the entire weekend. That is your painted.
Wait, what's this deal?
This is a challenge.
If he shows up with an entire army that he painted himself, I will buy his wine for the entire
Wait, is this... Wait, hold on before we make this deal. Does he actually have to put effort into it? If not, he will show up.
It has to be at the same quality of the models that he painted this weekend.
Absolutely.
Not his finger-painted Ballistus Dreadnought.
Wait, Brad. Brad painted models this weekend?
Yeah,
you didn't see it?
Yeah.
Tom, you need to plug in. I know you've unplugged so much, but you got to plug back into social media a little bit.
I'm trying. It's hard balancing dad life with this hobby. It really fucking is. Or either that, or I just suck at it and I'm struggling.
Could be.
Which is a possibility. you know
KR's
what I'm
got my
saying?
one model that I did before with Sean. Now, KR, you have the only model that's painted with actual regular paint because I only used contrast paints.
Hey. Contrast paint. Then you hit it with Nolan oil. It's a lifesaver.
Look, contrast paint is just another tool in the arsenal of the painter.
Yep.
Well, hold on, Kyle. I know you're saying that, but you said 3 weeks ago Brad stole Gretchen from me. Came into my house and stole 10 Gretchen out of my hands. No, my friend, I actually stole 10 Gretchen and Bad Ruck. Thank you very much.
Listen, I want to do a special show on us where we have Kyle show off his apartment. Dude, I love that, man. But the cable was the best. Cable was the best.
I don't even want to know. I'm seeing OSHA violations in my head.
Also, to top things off, I have a lot of fucking models and boxes, piles of shame in my house because I buy shit and I never go through it. That dude had like entire armies never opened on shelves everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the like? I feel like I was in a game store.
Dude, he's so nice that when you're hanging out with him, you just give him crap. Like when I was at Nova and I got second, I was like, yeah, here's all my free stuff that I won from Nova. I'm not gonna haul it back home. And he like took all that stuff. So I'm pretty sure he's got like entire closets full of unpainted, unassembled models.
Dude, I'm telling you, Kyle's house is like walking into a game store.
He did have a lot of stuff.
There, and Brian walked in, like, oh, man,
we're on our way back to the meta, guys. On our way back to the meta.
Meta.
So do we think Eldari now that are at a 50% win rate are finally fixed in balance?
I think they are a really, really strong army, and I think they're going to be like they were before in some of the other editions, especially in 8th, when you have a huge disparity in wins between the more experienced players and the less experienced players, because that list is now something that has all of the tools to win, but it also has Eldari life, which is tons of T3 stuff running around all over the place. So you're going to have the same things you had before. I think that army has a lot of ways to play, and it's going to be fine. I think it's probably going to be starting to win more, to be honest with you, at the highest level.
I feel like I could take Eldar to an event and still win. I don't feel like I could give Eldar to my kid and then he could just go win an event arbitrarily.
Yeah,
so we think they've come off what I call the easy button army to where you can give just about anybody an easy button with it. Now it takes skill and generalship to win with what is
still a top tier army.
Yeah, it's like when Brad was running Eldar like last edition when they weren't the cool kids club, but people were still abusing whatever the thing was that lets you ignore cover and get +2 if you rolled 6s. Oh, what was it? There was a lit name for that list. But yeah, they were still a good army, but nobody played it except for like the upper echelons because it was so fragile. And Tyranids were the easy button army at the time.
See? Now here's the thing.
I like one second. I like the way GW this time though. I mean, it took them a little bit longer than I would probably like to get there. But instead of just hammering that list into the ground and be like, yep, you can't play the Codex anymore because it won too many events already, they gradually got into like a respectable place, in my opinion. Like if you win an event, you're with Eldari, like, okay, cool, you won an event. It feels like 6 months ago, it's like, all right, cool, you beat the other like 20 Eldari players. You must win first. It's like that.
But it took a while for the rules and stuff too.
On the wall, someone asked, what is the best current Tyranids army? I think the Unending Swarm plays the missions the best right now.
I think it just auto wins into some stuff too, though. It has so many models and so many abilities to score. I think that list is terrifying, especially against certain armies.
And there are some armies that when you put the army down, they're like, I can't kill through that. If the gargoyles touch me, I'm in a lot of trouble. And people get very surprised how fast the gargoyles are and how quickly you get touched by them.
The only problem I have with that list is if you run into certain archetypes, you're now the prey. It doesn't have an ability to punch up into certain archetypes, so you're playing rock, paper, scissors at that point. And as long as you get a lot of scissors, you're fine. But the second you get paper,
so sometimes as a general, you have to mitigate and play your percentages.
Yeah.
When you run against, hey, look, when you're playing an army that gets smashed by a rock and you keep getting, through it, and then all of a sudden you get the rock, you have to go, all right, how do I mitigate so I can potentially win this game without giving up too many of my resources?
Yeah.
And it's not the easiest thing to play. It's a heavy movement thing. You have to make a lot of good decisions with it. You don't always surge directly forward. There's times where sometimes you get shot and you don't use the surge. There's a lot of nuance to it, but it's in the correct player's hands. It's probably the strongest army.
And if your opponent starts whittling down multiple units at the same time, understand they know your game plan and you have to adjust. Don't let them kill 3 units in the same turn. It will be really bad.
The thing, I'm going to go to the wall a little bit for some of the stuff. One, if you're touching things with your gargoyles, you're doing it wrong. Your gargoyles are coming just outside of it's like when you're in the car with your siblings and you're like, I'm not touching you because you get right up on top of them, but you don't quite get there.
There's ways to touch things with the gargoyles. Be very annoying. You don't touch everything.
Question for you. Think about this. Do we think there is a true TAC faction out there still, so like a take all comers, or is it just purely paper rock scissors now?
Yes.
I don't think it's
I think Necrons and Custodes, I would argue, are both all-comers lists that can do really well, but they're very reliant on specific things occurring to have successful games.
And I think Black Templar can do it as well.
Yes. I would argue Black Templar requires significantly better generalship than the other two.
I would say that orcs have the tools.
Yeah. There's only one arc player that keeps making the things skyrocket, though.
I'm trying to calm it down. I really am. I've been trying to take it more easier, but when I play orcs, when I get that wag out.
You get that wag, baby. Can't stop yourself. Now, I think that there's a decent amount of armies that can play the game. They have bad matches, but they can play against most everything. And I think that's a good thing. I don't think it's too... there are some serious scissors, paper, rock matches in the game, don't get me wrong. But as a whole, we've got some armies that can kind of just take whatever the hell on. Now, again, I may talk a little bit about team again. In teams, there's some really good lists that you can put against almost anything if you can refuse one thing, which is hilarious. Why haven't Black Templars won an event? They seem to struggle at the top. I think that they have the problem with Marines as a whole, to be perfectly honest with you, is I think that they have balanced army syndrome, which is...
Wait, Templars haven't won an event yet?
No, they've won events. I'm saying they haven't won a bunch of events lately. So the only problem with Black Templar is that they don't crush all the time. So you have to play a good game throughout the entirety of the event. So it doesn't just walk through things. It has the tools.
Won an event listed in the JC.
No, that's just that's just the weekend. He doesn't have the total wins.
Oh, okay.
9.99 super chat.
Top 4 armies for a 4-man team, not including Marines. Ooh. Krons and Custodes, I would bring in a heartbeat. And man,
Orcs and Death Guard.
Orcs and Death Guard. I was trying to think if I need a hit or somebody.
You want to bring a Tau player because Tau shits on Necrons, and you can put Necrons into.
It's hard to choose though. If you're only when you're going into 4 and 5-man teams, it's very difficult to predict what other people brought because of the fact that the meta is very diverse right now in what might show up. So you can't really focus down anybody that you can. And if the meta is highly focused on one thing, because they just might not bring them. You know what I mean? And if you want to bring some craziness, you could just bring like a super diverse. I'm trying to think if there's like an armies that I could just spam like 1 million models for all 4 armies.
I really think I would go Kron, Stodes, Death Guard, and Tau because it gives Death Guard access to demons and Chaos Knights without any issues, and it gives Stodes access to things, and then Krons independently are good, and Custodes, yeah.
I don't know though, because the problem with the only problem with Tau is it's not gonna. You'd have to make it one of your defenders then, because it doesn't pull big differential, because people are just gonna get big points for bringing it down and shit like that.
Yeah, no, I think it makes a good defender. Not your first defender, but a good defender.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Carmona threw up a list. It's huge. Thomas Ogden with a $4.99 super chat. What army are playing in gem teams? Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Well, Jamis
Ah.
Togden.
Seriously, what army do I gotta try to find, Brad?
I should put you on Eldar.
Oh, please don't. Please don't.
You're an
Can I be the
Eldar.
main
You're an
player?
Eldar specialist now.
Yeah, you've played him in most of your competitive events recently. You're an Eldar specialist now.
Hey, Meta Monday, I gotta say that, Custodes and Necrons is a good matchup because Trajan just houses this games. It just really does. That's part of the reason. If you make a mistake and Trajan gets to punish your Satans, you're in a world of hurt.
Yeah, but that match isn't. I don't think they poop on him at all. I don't think there's a lot of people that just are super good at anything right now. To be perfectly honest with you.
No, I think, and again, I think this is one of the most balanced metas. Yes, there are 3 armies, I think, at the very bottom of it, but I think that middle is so congested. There's maybe 1 to 2 S tier armies. I mean, you can argue that Custodes and Necrons are the 2 S tiers. At this point, if you said everybody else was a low A, high B, I wouldn't be able to argue all that hard.
I think that there's a log jam in the middle.
Yeah. Which is not a bad thing. I like that there's not, that big giant redwood out there that's, everyone has to climb chop.
I want to go to the board real quick because Kyle's like, I'm going to just assume Carmona can see in the future because he legit called out old CSM before they caught fire. Bro, Carmona was on that shit way before with that list.
Yep.
I remember we're practicing shortly in the 10th, and we're talking about Eldar with all the shenanigans they do, and then Carmona's like, no, Brad, check this list out. This can be Eldar. I'm like, hell no. And then here we are months later, and it's still destroying shit.
Yep. I want to say that there's a bottom 5 factions, but I agree with everything else that Brian said.
What do you think's bottom 5?
What do you think bottom 5? What do you think the bottom 5 are?
Anything like Firestorm, just generic Marines. I mean, basically, the win percentages say it.
Well, you can't.
I don't think CSM are that good. I also don't think that AdMech or Astra Militarum are that good. Like, when's the last? I mean,
last week,
very good players for
I
those.
IG won 2 tournaments last week.
I mean, here's the thing.
I don't think the new book for Dark Angels is good
can do
at all.
remarkably well on certain terrain. It's just, I firmly believe that right now we're in a time where you have to look at your player packet and go, what's the terrain setup? Okay, it's VW. I have to be able to do this.
Isn't that a knock against an army, though?
Wait, you still don't think Marines are good, you're saying?
Hold on. We're going to the wall, because speaking of Marines, Peaches the Destroyer coming in with a $5 super chat.
Peaches the Destroyer!
Brad, mind going and winning something big with Space Wolves for me and stomp some Nurgle for inventing the big C? He's taking my Nanas to live for. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. But I could see myself bringing some wolves. I was actually trying to design some Space Wolves lists over the weekend. So I was trying to put some more stuff together. I wish that I liked Stormlands more, because I would love to run more Thunderwolves. Those are
the
cool.
Stormlands list is pretty
I
solid.
still think Crowley's insane for saying Marines ain't good. I don't think they're like the best, but they're pretty damn
I'm
good.
saying the Index Space Marine, not Black Templars
You're
or the other
picking
deviations.
specific detachments. You're like, hey man, if I only ran TAC Marines, they would be
They're
bad.
listed separately.
Space Wolves aren't good if you run the Space Wolf detachment. But if you run that Stormlance detachment, they're considerably better.
But
Oh,
what? I don't know. We're not seeing consistency across them. The data doesn't support. Your gut feeling says that they're good, but we're not
Great.
seeing any data that shows that they're good.
you know what? I'll never get to live down that when they did that stupid reveal with the shitty Guardians.
Yeah, Brad, how are those C tier, B tier
D
Eldar?
tier Eldar.
Yeah. I remember all of us like, oh, you're crazy, Brad. They're freaking fantastic. He's like, no.
Hey, look, every once in a while, we're wrong, and we'll be wrong again. But Brad was really wrong on that one.
Look, I
There are
stand
levels of
by.
wrong,
Ready?
and he was all the way
Hold
wrong.
on. Was I wrong about Guardians being bad? No, I was not. They're still terrible.
Free dice when you could just chain 6s all at once was pretty good for a couple of weeks.
Guardians are terrible. I stand by that. Guardian is basically me with a gun. It means it's terrible.
Oh, I remember when I came back. I haven't played it all in 10th, and like 2 weeks before Nova, Brad convinced me to go to Nova. I just play Eldar. It's easy. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna get curb stomped. And I'm like, on my first game in 10th, I was learning. My opponent in the first round was teaching me things about the game. And
Bro, your
I was
first
like,
round opponent was teaching you things. I walked up on that T-Sun's game.
okay. But like when I found out like what raid knights could do, I was like, this is ridiculous.
This is
The
dumb.
fact that Brad thought that army was like not gonna be good.
Oh, shut up!
I mean, he did play it at Salt City. There may or may not have been a reason why.
Yeah.
I just remember Brad specifically saying, "Man, the army's trash. No one can win anything."
You remember the part where he said,
I
"I'm not
stake
going to
my
play Fire
reputation.
Prisms"?
No, listen. I stake my reputation as the oldest living 40K professional on it. That army will win a single event.
Yeah, I remember me saying all of this.
I remember you saying
Very
Fire Prisms.
aptly.
No matter how good Fire Prisms were, you weren't going to play them, and then I saw 3 in your list.
3 in his list.
Oh, look, man, I already knew where this was going. That is already why I put up my hypocrisy knows no bounds.
Listen,
KR says Guard is S tier in England.
It's because of
Well-
UKTC terrain.
But you say that they're S tier, and I'm looking through here at all the events over
No,
there, and
I
I'm
don't
not
think
seeing
they're S
any
tier
Guard.
there. I think that they're smashing though. They're
Brad, real quick, just to go on that. I remember when Storm Ravens first came out, and I was like, that model's fucking hideous. I will never run that model ever. And then it said the next day that you could put dreadnoughts in them, and I went and bought 3 that day for my blood angel. I was like, right, the rules are too good.
I still have 6 in the basement. Stupid Storm Raven. No rule of 3, 8th edition.
Corey,
Screw
I
you.
don't have bad takes. My takes are just underrated.
You're like a wizard. You always arrive on time.
Exactly. Precisely when I'm supposed to.
Oh, Jesus. Love everything about this. I wonder. Guard 5-0 in Milwaukee.
Again, we have established Milwaukee doesn't count. Milwaukee was won by 6 Dread Knights, 3 Helverin, and a.
Wait.
Man, you're just going to get taken
No,
outside.
you just need to eat your crow because you said
Somebody-
they're a terrible codex, and then they just won a GT last week.
Somebody is about to just dumpster me with from Milwaukee with Guard at the next event that I go to. I'm not gonna lie. I might have some Medusas on the way because I'm curious about what I can do with that. I am undefeated against Brad in tournaments. I have 2 counts of attempted murder against Brad in tournaments.
I remember when he played you at last year's Cherokee, and he just looked like he's about to die inside the stage. I'm at home calling people like, yo, so I want to go check on Brad because I don't think he's breathing anymore.
Look,
I
man,
had
it's no
I had
big
a
deal. I just
TO.
went to the hospital afterwards.
I had a TO at another event tell me that I'm not allowed to move my opponent's models, no matter how inebriated or out of it that they look.
Yeah, that's okay. When we played at what's his name, Birdsong's event, I beat Brad so bad I put him in the hospital. True
And
story.
we both done it.
Will did.
Yeah, Brad
That was
Brad
where
in the middle of the event. He
No,
didn't
the best is still when I was really sick and I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I just get my phone turned and slid to me with, "These are what time the planes are leaving." And I'm like, I go, "Oh, I'm riding home or driving with Tom." And he goes, "So you really want to take a 8-hour drive with how you are right now?" And I go, "All right, let me see what those times are real quick." It's like, we can leave now.
Brad, you mean 18-hour drive, right?
Yeah, if you go the wrong way
That's
again.
the farthest we've ever driven.
I love
Remember, we
it.
stopped halfway. We stopped halfway there at Matt's place.
Dude, all I have to say is Gaz has the best comment for you. Guess Forsman isn't good enough for the hair guy.
I'm just talking shit. I have
Hold
all the
on.
respect in the world for
I need a
Forsman.
Fabio meme for you now.
No. I'm going to cut all my hair. You guys giving me too much shit. No, Milwaukee was a great event. We had one of our locals go up there, and he had a fantastic time. It was a really good time. But the list coming out of the event are very unique. So I'm very curious how the terrain was or how the actual event
How
went.
did you have a local go way the fuck up to Milwaukee but not go to Cherokee? It's like
Because he didn't want to go to Cherokee. He wanted to go hang out with the guys up in Milwaukee.
such a far drive.
Sherwin and Matt Rhett were up there too. It was a good time.
The Tundra Tactics guys are cool guys.
Yeah, they're a bunch of good dudes to hang out with.
Tundra
Also, I don't
Tactics
know if you
is
heard,
the
but
best.
Cherokee can be a little weird sometimes.
Hold on.
Oh no, please explain. What made it weird?
I could not imagine to entertain. I wasn't there. You'd have to ask Kyle.
This is just making me happy. I might leave this up the rest of the stream.
This is not fair, Brad. This is
Brad,
not
what
fair.
are your guys' next
Oh my
events?
god.
So, Brad, what's your next one?
I'm going this weekend to the Death Ninja Kung Fu Master Assault on Arizona, even though it's in Arkansas. I just used an A state and just went with it. Melee at Shiloh. That's what I'm going to. Going to see Blake.
I love Blake. I didn't see him.
Very nice. Buy Blake a drink for me, would you?
Can do.
Absolutely. Crawley, what's your next event? I know you're traveling all over the world, but maybe you got one coming up?
I am intending to go as long as Brad doesn't bail on the GW Dallas event. But that is again contingent that Brad doesn't bail on me and leave me hanging.
What
team
month
event?
is the what event is what month is Dallas in?
May. Brad, you literally committed last month, the last time I was on the show, to me.
Oh, we
and
got a
Andy
May
that you were
event
coming.
also? I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
It's close to my birthday, so I was able to sell it as a reason to go. Plus, traveling across the world for work gets you a lot of points, so the trip is basically free, so that's great too.
So, Tom, what's your next event? Is it the teams event that you're going to next?
No, I think Adepticons before that.
Okay. So for me, my next event is Dust GT in Petawawa, Ontario, Canada. It's going to be a good time. The WTC terrain. It's going to be kind of fun to play in a WTC format for me. I haven't done it in a while. It's not teams, it's singles, but it's going to be a good fun time.
Oh yeah. When's that?
The same weekend as Adepticon. 4-hour drive for me versus 13 hours to Chicago.
Seems about the same.
That sucks. We're not gonna see Adepticon. What the hell?
I did. The best thing said today as I recorded the Lorecast today was John said, well, I can definitely take you to Chicago. And later on, I realized he's coming home like 2 days before I am. And I'm like, well, how am I getting home? He's like, you'll figure that out. He's like, get on a
You'll
train or
figure
something.
it out.
I'll pick you up and you'll go from there.
I mean, I would have offered bringing home, but I'm coming home Saturday.
I'll still be in the team tournament.
Yeah.
Kamikazes!
Kamikaze.
So how many years in a row are you guys going for?
No, we lost last year. We got second.
Oh, that's right. You
It
got
was,
second.
it was 3 then 1, then 3 then second, then we're coming big. Doing the war in heaven this year. Uh-oh, $1.98 super chat. God damn it. Before you go, can I get another? Go blue. Sons of
Go
bitches.
blue.
Go blue, baby.
This is a football thing.
Yes, it's definitely a the fact that Michigan beat that team that Brad has on his hat right there.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
I can't say that team's name because they don't exist to me. But
That's
anyway.
hurtful talk.
It's a football thing. Okay, got it.
You got 9 minutes to fill. We want more for commercials. The best part about it is I've gotten 0 commercials on this. Oh, what's going on? Thomas God, what the hell, Tom? You're right here. $1.99 super chat. Hail to the victors.
I'm gonna put the entire fight song up. You're about to read it all.
All right. So Crowley, what hobby things you got going on right now? I know you always have some project you got going. What do you got going on?
I am currently updating my Death Guard because I've been very excited to play them, and I've actually wanted to put a little bit more effort into them. So I've been following the advice of a couple of my hobby peers. So that's been going well. And then I've also busted out a couple of Tyranid pieces because if I'm going to go to the local event, I want to try the Vanguard 18 Von Ryans. I charge you on turn 1 and see how the game goes kind of thing. It's going to be terrible, but in the best way possible.
You guys are fucking killing me.
I
Zooms.
don't know. Well,
Brad
if you're
told me
talking
that
about
Coke
that-
Classic would never make a comeback. Man,
Is
this
Brad like on a different phone call? Because he's like talking in the background. And I can't hear what he's saying.
no, I was
he's-
just reading the wall. You sons of
Oh.
bitches.
We're over
On
here trying to stay on
Thursday.
topic, and you're talking about football. This is not a football stream, Brad.
This is this. I don't know if you know this, Crowley, but we're unscripted.
No, we have a script.
Wait, we have a script.
Let me give you some custom index cards to keep you on point.
Oh, he snuck
Hey, I
it
can
in.
talk about it now.
I was
Now.
saying
He
for
opened
like the
can of
script of
worms.
the thing. What are you going to?
I know he opened up. I'm gonna talk about it.
No.
Still
Literally
pushing
meant
the
index
Tom
cards to
button.
keep on freaking stack.
The only one I want to talk about it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm outvoted.
Ah. Oh, the trade. Gary sent me trade. I love it. Gary, $10 super chat. Here's $10. Now show pictures of my terrain that I sent you. Hold on.
train's
Downloading
awesome.
it now.
Gary's
Oh, yeah,
gonna
your
show us
trade's
something.
fantastic, Gary.
Oh wait, yeah, we haven't even talked about Gundam yet.
Gundam style? Wait,
0083, man, let's go.
I heard that Zoob started playing Gundam.
Wait, is there a
Yeah.
Gundam game?
there actually is.
Boom!
Uh-oh.
This is Gary's terrain. This is what was playing in Milwaukee. This guy's,
Oh wait, if we're
this is good shit, dude. Wait, I played him. This is the same shit we played in Toledo, was it not?
Yeah, he had like 10 or 20 sets at
Yeah, this was awesome. I love this shit.
Corey, being into Gundam is not like being a furry. Take that back.
What?
That train looks awesome.
It
Sounds
is
like
awesome.
Corey's jokes.
if being in a Gundam made you a furry, I'd be a furry. 100%.
And on that note,
I don't know where to
This
go from
terrain
here,
is
guys.
Amazing. I want to get a set of this terrain.
I wasn't paying attention, but apparently things went awry while I was getting that picture of Gary's
Hey.
terrain.
It's terrain
Also,
that you can
Brad, I'm
actually
still-
use plunging fire on. That's great.
And so his train's actually
It
awesome.
was awesome.
It was the
That's-
first time I've ever looked at PDF, and I was like, you know what? Not PDF, but what do you call it?
MDF?
PDF. I was like, you know what? I'd play it.
Tom
I was like, in
using
your
Adobe.
profession,
Tom was
that's the
using
first time
Adobe.
you looked at a PDF. That is good terrain. That's good guard terrain right there.
Jesus.
I'm still waiting for the army I'm supposed to play at Gem, by the way.
Guard. You're playing guard. You have the painted models.
You
Just
do
do it.
have actually the painted models for guard. Why don't we
Two
just
ro-
put you on Templars?
Just give him
This
2
I
round
approve.
guns and a shadow sword, and we're ready to go.
We have 4 minutes left. Let's figure out what he's going to play for
You know
Gem
what?
Hammer.
Screw it. Let's go to the wall. Let's do a poll.
Oh no, the vote.
Yeah.
No.
Bring it.
Guard, Tau, or
What should Tom play?
Black Templar.
at
You should definitely
Gem
give
Hammer?
Tom a board control.
Okay,
army
no, we
with-
got 4 choices.
Yeah.
That's the only amount I know how to put up. So let's go with Black Templar. Definitely guard.
What takes did I give Zuber that are
Hey,
awesome?
Gary, type in your
Tau.
website.
What's the
for your
last one,
character.
kids?
Guard, Tau,
Templars.
Templar. What? Oh, I guess Vanguard Marines.
Nah,
That list
Marines
that
are
you
Marines.
Oh, but Marines are so good. You were just defending them a minute ago. What happened? Oh, that's right. It's not a bad take
No,
because you agree with
It is
me.
not.
Eh,
Factions.
Marines are Marines.
I said factions. Marines are Marines. You can only bring one
I said
book.
Vanguard Marines, your old list, and
That
you're
is
like,
a second.
"Meh."
Marines guard Tau, you fool.
Black Templar play completely different than Vanguard
And
Marines.
Necrons.
Necrons, there you go.
Necrons.
He'll get bored to tears. You would literally rage quit if somebody gave you that army. You don't want to play for a full 2 hours.
Well, you have to play for 2 hours?
Yes.
I'll vote it.
Everybody vote for Necrons.
God
We'll see
damn
how
it. Did
quick
you
we can
really
make
put
it
up
great.
one more? Probability. Die. One more for the road. Go blue.
Hey, listen, if you agree with Go Blue, you need to vote Necrons to make Tom
This
play
is just
2-hour games.
All right, Brad. I think we have to do it. It has to be $5 for a gold blue now.
I don't even know what I'm
Cards
doing.
are
I'm
winning.
so
No,
used to liking
the-
super chats
if-
that I've just liked all the Go Blue super chats.
Hey, Tom, Crowns are winning.
I would literally pay a penny for it if I could. The cheapest I can make that man say go blue is the best money you'll ever spend.
The best part about it is I am literally just so Ron Burgundy is this. I do not even read it. I read everything out loud as I'm looking at it. Though,
If they make me
pre.
play Necrons, I'm literally forfeit. I'm not playing the game.
You're the one that just said Necrons.
Yeah, then I found out you play the full game. This is bullshit.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video and our channel. Helps
Hey,
us
we might be a
bring
little
you
off the rails
valuable
today.
content.
I need.
Brad, shout out your Lorecast.
40K Lorecast. You can go Spotify, iTunes. You can also go to the website 40K Lorecast, the 40K Lorecast.com. Also Discord and 40K Lorecast. You know what it is everywhere? 40K Lorecast.
And of course,
That's a
the
sweet card.
Salt City GT, thesaltcitygt.com. Sign up today for 40K, Age of Sigmar, Marvel Crisis Protocol, Warhammer Kill Team, and Warhammer The Old World.
I'm actually super excited for Salt City this year.
I do want to say that I
You are
did
already signed up, sir.
today in my recording the Lorecast. As part of the recording, I did give KR props for continuing to tell me to like and subscribe, because I never do. I only watch to feel better about my life. Uh-oh. Necrons, Black Templars, and Guard all tied right now.
All right, voting's over. I get to pick.
He will
And
decide
I'm
between those
picking
three.
Black Templar. Done.
Oh, man.
Queen's Wave, everyone.
Queen's Wave, indeed. I got to end the poll.
Oh, no,
Black
no, no.
Templars!
Black Templar won!
Oh, I ended up Black Templar winning.
Go Templars!
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.